Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show. Today is Wednesday, February 26, 2020. This is a special report about the eBay Spring Seller Update. It was just released earlier today, and I want to make a quick video to cover a few points of the update. I'm only going to be discussing the eBay Seller Update today. On Friday, I will cover all your comments, questions, and concerns, and other topics that I usually do eBay related. So that being said, I'm going to be reading directly off my Mac today. So let's get started. eBay is going to touch on the following topics: listings, shipping, promoting our inventory, servicing customers, and seller protections as they apply to returns. With the listings, there are really no earth-shattering revelations here. A few categories will be changing later this year. The categories that are impacted will be business and industrial, watches, home and garden, and sporting goods. If you're in any of those categories, you will be impacted with the category changes. But as for the rest of you guys and myself, it's not going to affect us at all. The item specifics update is something we've been talking about for the longest time. It's nothing new at all. It's to use the most item specifics in your listings that you possibly can. Because believe it or not, a lot of customers do search that way. Off the top of my head, in eBay Motors, which is where I sell, a lot of times people will search for their item by the part number, the manufacturer's part number. So if you have that, it's very imperative that you include it in your listings. That is why if there are 5 people selling an item identical to mine in eBay Motors for about the same price, or even if they're selling theirs a little bit less, I will often get the sale because I'm the one that includes all the item specifics. Up till now, volume pricing was only available for those of us who have eBay stores, but that's going to change this spring. Regular ham and eggers, people who do not have eBay stores but have items listed in multi-quantities, will be able to take advantage of volume pricing. eBay claims that volume pricing increases sales dramatically. I myself do use volume pricing in eBay Motors. I can't quite say if it increases my sales all that much. However, the way it's laid out, it keeps the customer on your listing a little longer. So anytime that a customer stays on your listing a little longer, to me, is a positive thing. Terapeak is a free resource that is included free, as I said, to all eBay store levels with the exception of the starter store. Depending upon what you're selling, Terapeak could be an invaluable resource for you. I myself don't use it in eBay Motors because I know my parts and I know what everything is worth. The white background photo editing app was introduced at eBay Open in 2019 for smartphones only. eBay continues to enhance this feature and says it will be available to desktop users in the future. As far as shipping is concerned, eBay has been touting FedEx starting in January 2020, and eBay states FedEx has reduced their rates. eBay wants all sellers to use a dedicated shipping service such as USPS, FedEx, or UPS to ship the items and always upload the tracking number. eBay is increasing the ability to send offers to watches. In the past, apparently you could only send 10 offers to watches at one time. Now that's going to increase to 40 at one time. In addition, Seller Hub has a new feature called Seller Help. It's billed as your one-stop place to take care of all kinds of things regarding customer service needs. eBay says that Seller Help is a streamlined place for you to take care of all your customer service needs in one spot. As I said earlier, as of June 1st, 2020, eBay is mandating that all sellers ship with a dedicated carrier. Most of us use USPS, UPS, or FedEx, and it comes with tracking. It is worth it for your peace of mind to use a dedicated carrier, and you can automatically upload tracking information. Updates to shipping. eBay has introduced something called eBay International Standard Delivery. It is billed as being more affordable to customers than the global shipping program. I have heard that it takes a lot longer to use eBay International Standard Delivery than the GSP, and that the delivery dates can go several weeks. Keep in mind, this is new and we have to see how it works out. So far, everything I've told you guys has been basically a rehash or has not hurt you in any way. Now I have a serious topic to discuss, so please everybody, take a seat, clear your head, stop screwing around with whatever you're doing, and listen to what I'm going to say. There's going to be a change to closing out returns early. Let's say this happened to you. You sell a buyer an item, they get it, and for whatever reason they're not happy. Maybe they're going to claim SNAD, or maybe they're going to be honest and say it's the wrong size. They open a return request, you accept it. eBay gives them a certain window with which to return the item. So today is February 26th. Let's say today is the last day of the return window. Tomorrow, February 27th, in the past, you or myself could call eBay, and eBay would close the return out in your favor because the buyer missed the return date. In fact, I did that just this morning, but I'll talk to you about that Friday because it's another good story. But anyway, what's changing? As of April 1st, 2020, you and I will no longer be able to call eBay to get the return closed in your favor, even if the buyer has not shipped it back by the return date mandated by eBay. You heard me right. eBay is being somewhat vague as to when we will be able to close out the returns, or if we will have to wait a full 30 days to close out a return. I'm not sugarcoating anything. This is definitely not good news. I don't understand why eBay would take this stance. Right now, they have a policy that I think is working fairly well in that aspect. If a person files for a return, eBay gives them, I believe, a generous 10 working day window to return the item. And if the item is not returned, you as the seller can call them and they will close it out in your favor. And that's been working great for me. But that's all going to change as of April 1st, 2020. So guys, put your seatbelts on. The one codicil eBay added to the policy that I just told you is they state the new return process promises seller protection from negative feedback when such returns are closed by eBay. Guys, before we start any new topics, I'm going to take a drink from the Fox News Cup O' Life. This is the Fox News Cup O' Life, and I remembered to bring it with me to work today. Happy is he who drinks from it. Oh yeah. Now let's talk about SNAD cases, item not as described. Now listen carefully. If a buyer opens a case for an item not as described and the seller does not respond to the buyer within 3 business days, eBay can close the case in the favor of the buyer without contacting the seller. This new practice will go into effect June 1st. Please guys, always respond to your SNAD cases. Although this policy may sound detrimental, I don't think it is. I respond instantly to all my SNAD cases, and I always will. And I really suggest you guys do too. Here's something about blocking buyers. Changes in blocking buyers. To protect sellers and the eBay platform, if you block a buyer and discover the buyer purchasing from you with another eBay ID, you are now protected by eBay. You can cancel the transaction and eBay has your back. eBay will protect you from any negative feedback you may receive. Guys, I think a good many of you who are watching this video have encountered this in the past. I have too. You block a buyer because he gave you a hard time on a previous deal, or because you have an inkling he might on this deal, and he goes and starts a new account, zero feedback, buys your item. It's happened to me too. eBay says they'll protect us from this. I guess we'll just have to see how it goes. Basically, to summarize what the eBay Spring 2020 update is about, it's about the continuing improvements to eBay listings that aim at increasing sales conversion, which is what I touched on earlier about adding item specifics and a few changes. The fact that they're addressing basic customer needs in the seller help area, specifically Seller Hub, is good. Let me now try and encapsulate everything on the eBay 2020 Spring Seller Update, both the good and the bad. The good, eBay is trying very hard to increase sales conversions on the platform. I think that is a very, very good thing. They're also trying to address basic customer needs in Seller Hub, specifically called Seller Help. I think that's good. What's not so good is eBay will no longer close out returns automatically when the buyer does not send the item back by the required time. I think that is very, very bad, and I'm not ashamed to say it. It upsets me. I can't see any good being derived from that, and I'm sure a lot of you guys will have something to say about that. Most of the other announcements that I said earlier are just a rehash of things eBay has talked about in the past. I see nothing bad about that. So basically, in my opinion, this is my opinion, there is nothing to worry about in this Spring Seller Update 2020, with the exception of eBay no longer closing out the returns in our favor when the buyer does not send their item back by a specified time. I honestly think this is going to hurt a lot of sellers. You'll understand a little bit more about this on Friday night, because I have a great story to tell you about a return. You are going to scratch your head in disbelief. But for now, I got to get going. Guys, thank you for watching this video. I'm Crazy New York Driver, and you're not. If you found this video helpful in any way, please leave me a thumbs up. It tells me I'm on point and appreciated. If you did not find this video helpful, tell me in the comments section what you want me to hit up. Remember, I'm a seller friend, not a seller critic or skeptic of any kind. I've solved a lot of problems. I'm still making money online. I've never worn a mask, and I never will. And I've never resorted to distorting my voice, because I find that unscrupulous and dishonest. Guys, I am a CEO and a CFO of my own company. Sales have been very good this week. We'll talk about that Friday. I want you to go out there, rock on, and peace! Yeah! And just like every other day when I'm out here, two things. One, you can't see it, but I'm going to spin the camera around in a second. It's cloudy and rainy. And number two, my closing tagline, don't be fitchy! I mean it! I freaking mean it! I'm spinning the camera around just so you can see the weather. Cloudy and rainy. And guess what? Today's Wednesday. I bet it's cloudy on Friday too. I'll put that out there right now. See ya.